Hi, I'm Mac McCarthy, and I help people with their breakups. And today we have a new story based in Paris, or Paris, or someone's in Paris. I just skimmed it really quick. And I'm actually a quarter French. My mother is French. Her father was born in France, and I have relatives there, but I've never been to Paris. And I've had two coaching sessions with people. One person was on vacation in Paris, another person was living there for a time being. So what's the deal with these people, spending time in Paris? It's in Paris. Oui. It's an international place, right? I'm a bit jealous. I'd like to go there at some point. So let's get right into the story. If you'd like to tell me your breakup story, please visit writemac.com, or book a live coaching session. Please visit writemac.com. Thank you. All right. Hi, Mac. I love to hear you spike. I don't even know what that means, if she meant to write speak, but I love to hear you spike and your life approach. Well, thank you. My life approach took 37 years. I'm 37 years old, and it took a lot of life experience, a lot of breakups, a lot of reading, a lot of teaching. So I'm actually proud of my life approach. I take that as a compliment. Thank you. You are real and honest. Thank you. That's a real and honest compliment also. I really appreciate that. I was actually just in a coaching session yesterday, and a guy mentioned the same thing, and he actually mentioned at the end of it, he goes, it's not like a therapist or a psychiatrist when I talk to you. It's like talking to a friend or a bro. And what I would say to that is sometimes that's what it calls for when I talk to people. I let them direct where we're going in the coaching session and where they want to go. Because every situation is completely different. Every story is different. And that's really what I hang my hat on, is the fact that your story is individually packed, individually treated in a different way. And right now on the internet, we have a lot of one size fits all, and it just doesn't work. Well, if this happens and you had this with your ex, then do this, this, and this. Well, let me hear your story first. Let me hear a little bit about your background. Let me hear what you think about yourself. Let me hear what you feel about yourself. Let me hear what you're saying to yourself. Let me hear the story, or let me read the story that you're telling yourself, and we can dig a little deeper and get some real clarity, rather than you going, I read this online and it says that all people should do no contact, or all people should do this. Well, it's individually prescribed in my book. So this is my story, says the writer. So this is my story. Me and my ex broke up 3 weeks ago when I was in Paris, to visit him and celebrate our one intense year together. He is a French guy. She wrote French with an A by accident. A French guy who came to my country, Israel, with a dream to live here forever. But the business he opened here didn't much succeed, and he lost all his money, and he stayed here with no family, no money, no career, only me and bills, and he needs to pay. So he got back to his hometown 4 months ago. Over there, he has an parent and family, so he don't need to worry too much. So unfortunately, the English or the grammar is bad. I always accept that, but please don't think I'm reading this wrong. It's just written grammatically incorrect, but that's okay. We'll work with it. So basically, he opened a business, but the business didn't do well. He's in debt. He had to leave, and it's been 4 months. He told me that he went back to France to make a little bit of money. I'm going to improvise the way this is written. He will come back in a few months. He wanted me to come with him, but I was afraid. Why are you afraid to go to Paris? It seems like a nice city to visit. I was afraid being away from my family and friends and not knowing the language and without work. Well, you shouldn't be afraid. I mean, people love Paris, and it was an opportunity to learn a new language, an opportunity to meet new friends and family. So I think you should entertain the idea. So I kept pressure on him to come back. That's not nice that you kept pressure on him to come back when he's trying to get money together to visit you. Pressure is not a good thing. But now he is having a hard time to make fast money. He's so stressed to choose to give up on our relationship, claiming he don't want to choose to lose my time. I'm 35 and he's 29. So, I mean, that's a legitimate thing to say, is that He doesn't know when he's going to get back. You're pressuring him on when he's going to come back, and he's not sure when he is. He's focused on making money and basically getting his shit together, paying off some debts, and he probably can't deal with you wanting him back, and he doesn't have any foot to put on ground in Israel right now because it's difficult. He already tried. He needed too much time to pay all the people their money he owes to them. So he owes a lot of people money. Well, at least he's responsible and he cares about paying people back. That's admirable and noble. And he knows that I'm ready to make it to the next level. Well, if you were ready to make it to the next level, you should consider moving to Paris. But his financial problem won't let him. I know he is lost, so he's also willing to take the next level. But financial things are big. If he's 29 years old and he has financial issues, he needs to address that, or that'll always be a problem for both of you. I know he is lost and confused and insecure, but I accept him as he is, and I don't care if he doesn't have money because he has many good features. Well, I mean, long term, is it okay that he doesn't have money? Are you able to support him financially for the rest of his life or pay off his debts? That would be the first question. You also consider him confused and insecure. Or is that something you're attracted to, or is that just something right now he feels? Maybe he doesn't feel like himself, and that's the problem. From what you're telling me, he's worried about paying his debts off and making some money, which, like I said, it's admirable and noble. He's 29 years old. He's a young man. He should be taking care of his financial issues up front. If he was running under your umbrella and saying, oh, well, take care of me. He's tried to live in Israel. He tried a business there. It didn't work. He's regrouping. He's getting himself off the pavement and working towards putting that first right now. We're only 2 weeks not in contact. Before that, I send him messages that we do it and that I can't believe he would give up on what we have. I don't think he was giving up. I think that circumstances are, it's not a favorable position. He doesn't know when he's going to come back, and you're pressuring him for a time and date, and he can't deal with that. And even that I'm willing to try to come there. At what point are you trying to come there? Can you come? Can you make it to Paris? Can you give him a date? Can you give him a time? And he say to me he need more time to come back, and that he's afraid if I come there. Well, you're both afraid. That's not good. Come there, I will not be happy, and he will feel responsible for this. Well, you need to take a chance. You want clarity? Go over there. You're 35 years old. Give yourself a month or 2 months or 3 weeks. Look into his eyes. Take a jaunt around Paris. Give it a try, and you'll know after that trip. I've actually done this. I've been in a long-term relationship, not the same as you, not the same circumstances. But we broke up. I don't know if it was 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and I knew it was because of the long distance. And I said to myself, I didn't talk to her for, I don't know, maybe it was no contact for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I booked a flight. I told her I'm coming down. She said, we're just friends. I said, that's fine. I just need to come and see you. I'm looking at some other things when I'm back over there. And we were living in different cities from different parts of the world. And I had no expectations. I just wanted to look her in the eye, be in her presence, and see what happened. And you know what? We got back together. Because literally being in each other's presence, immediately she felt it. She was back on deck. It was the distance. So if you want to go over to Paris and see what it's like to be in each other's presence again and see if that sparks something, but after you go there, you need to make a decision. Are you willing to move there? At this point, it doesn't sound like he's willing to move back to Israel. He already tried that. I guess he makes up his mind. It was thought a year, but we were a good match, and so in love. I know he loves me very much. He used to keep saying to me that I'm the best woman he had, and he will never find better than me, and sorry, he can take me places and buy me stuff. So this is the issue, money. He talked about married and having children, don't know what to do. Well, if he's talking about marriage and having children, he needs to make money. And that's what's on his mind right now. Maybe I pushed him too much. The only part that you pushed him too much is you pressured him to move back to Israel when he had just moved back to Paris and he's trying to get his finances together. But I'm afraid to wait for nothing also. In this particular case, I never say this to people usually when they're in no contact, but you can go out to Paris and say I'm coming out in a week and see what happens when you're in each other's presence. But here's the part that you have to realize. If you do that, be prepared to be rejected and that be the end. But you definitely, in your circumstances, could go out there and go, I'm coming in a week. I want to see you. I want to see what it's like to be in your presence and see you face to face. You can do that in this situation. But like I said, you need to be prepared to be rejected possibly. If that happens, then you know and you're done. I feel I've done everything. My birthday's in 2 weeks. I'm thinking all the time if I will hear from him, if he will regret. People make a big deal about people referencing their birthdays. Maybe go out there for your birthday. He doesn't have the finances right now to visit you, and he's embarrassed about that. If to reach out for him, if you don't call or text, I would not reach out to him just to say hello or to tell him that if you're going to go over the same shit, like, hey, you should come to Israel, I miss you so much. If you're going to go over the same things that have been the same problems, then don't call him. If you have an action plan where you're like, look, I've been thinking about it. For my birthday, I want to go out to Paris. I want to see what it's like. I want to visit you. I want to see you in person. It's been too long, and I want to see how we are in each other's presence. That could be doable. And if he rejects that, then you know where he stands. I'm lost and confused because I don't want to let it go, and we live together during this time if it helps you. Yeah, living together makes a big difference on how close you are and how much you miss someone, so that does make a difference. Yeah, I don't want to let it go. Most people don't. And like I said, that would be, I don't normally tell people to stop no contact and just go out and visit them, but in this particular case, it would be an option for you to basically, instead of telling him what he needs to do, take a role of action, get in his presence, go out to Paris, surprise him 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and see if you like it enough to move there. So I hope that helps you. Please visit writemac.com if you got a breakup question or you want to tell me your full story and get a video response or book a live coaching session with me.